Welcome to Dance Specific Talks. This podcast is made for us dancers, and our goal here is to inspire dancers from all over the world to become better, both on and off the dance floor. We want to provide you with a platform where we dancers can share and learn from each other. So let me introduce to you your host for this podcast, Teaser, and remember as always, by dancers, for dancers.
What's up, party people, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite dance podcast, Dance Specific Talks. Today we're going to Sweden, but actually meeting an American as we are talking with a versatile choreographer, performer, dancer, vocalist, and much more. No one else than Mike Gamble. So what do you need to know about Mike? Well, where are we going to start? Because this man has done a ton of dancing. He has not only been in several crews, performed in different companies, he has also been performing in music videos for India Arie and many more artists. He's currently going to start a project called Gamble's Green Room, and we will hear more about it in the end of this interview. Now, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, and all the other podcast platforms. Remember, every time you follow and share an episode, we grow bigger and we can interview bigger artists and reach more dancers worldwide. Now, let's get it going. Welcome to this interview, Mike Gamble. Pop, 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 pop.
What's up? What's up?
I am so happy to see your beautiful face on my screen. It's
Why,
always
thank you, darling. Why, thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
All that hair, all that thick hair on your hair.
Oh, it's a lot of hair. We already know, but I love your little silvery, shining beard that's coming out too. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's becoming a little bit salt and pepper as the years go by.
Mature. Hey, this is an honor. Like, I don't actually really know how long we've known each other, but I remember when I met you the first time, and you were, to be honest, the first male I have seen rock heels like a goddess. And my own male crewmate, Michelle, took your class as well in heels. And I just was like, well, whoever this dancer is, he's special and I want to get to know him. So
let's see. I think that I'm trying to think. So I've been in Sweden for 12 years now.
I came to Gothenburg 2011, so I think there was somewhere.
I was going to say about 12. So we've known each other about 9 years, because I also remember me, you, was it Ida?
Yeah.
That we were going to do a project together. And that was before, so she was home. So that had to be around 11, 12, because then she went back to New York. So we'll say we've known each other for about 9 years.
Yes. And
9 to 10 years.
It's funny enough, because before this interview, I was like, I'm going to dig because I want to know some info about this man. And
you can't find it.
Oh, I could find some things that I didn't know about you. So
really?
I am very hopeful that I have this correct.
Oh, because I'm actually interested to find out what you think you know, because so many people, I have a friend who's a journalist and everybody's like, I don't know that much about you. I'm going to Google you. I'm like, good luck, because there's besides class stuff from what other people have posted for promo for classes, there is not much information about me on the interwebs.
No, and it's kind of the same information everywhere. So
exactly.
I have to be a little bit creative. But
see, that's what I'm saying. And it's not that I'm a private person or anything, that I have anything to hide. It's just I don't do public relations that much. I'm a teacher choreographer, and if you want me, you want me. If you know me, you know me. If you don't, you don't. That's on you, not me. And I'm still working. So That's the
Exactly.
interesting thing. I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't have an Instagram. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I used to have like a Vimeo. I have videos on Vimeo, but that's really just for references when people ask me for class stuff. But I don't do a lot of PR, media, social media stuff about myself as a performer.
And still, you managed to get booked on several academies,
Yeah.
performances, theaters. You're in an agency. You own and found one of the agencies yourself. So
Yeah.
good job for not having
Thank you.
a lot of social.
You know, that's when the work speaks for itself.
Exactly. All right. So
what do you think you know? What do you think you know? Let's start. What do you want to start with? What do you want to start with? This is fun for me.
I want to start with actually the creation of my gamble. And I have managed to dig up that you were born in Hartford, Connecticut.
Yes, that's correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know that you attended Drexel University in Philadelphia. And that's what I knew about you. Like, okay, you come from that area kind of thing. But I also think I remember that you had a brother that used to dance as well, if not still dancing. And I just wonder if you can like kind of summarize like what made my gamble, how did the environment that you grew up with your family and the place shape you as a person, being ready to go into the world?
Interesting. So I actually have 3 sisters and a brother, and I have 2 half brothers and a half sister, and I'm the youngest of all of them. My family is very, very close. My brother is pretty much, I give him credit for my start in entertainment. He's a former gospel recording artist with the all male gospel choir. And he is a former voguer, and he had his own house back in the 80s and early 90s. And I did my first performance, and he taught me voguing in house, and I did my first performance with him when I was 9. But I grew up with music in my household. It's like my bloodline. Even when I was a kid, Saturday mornings was my day. I would run a bath and bring the boombox in and listen to the radio for like an hour and just chill in the bathtub, jam the music. Funny story of vocally, I don't consider myself a singer, but I do perform vocals sometimes. But funny story is I was 5 or 6, and my brother was going to a choir rehearsal, and he had me with him, and he was like, "Hey, it's my little brother. He's going to join us." And everybody's like, "Oh, he's so cute. He can go downstairs with the kids choir." And he's like, "Or he can stay here." Like, "No, he'll have so much fun down there. He can sing with the kids choir." And he's like, "Okay." So one of the parish people take me down and introduce myself. And then I wasn't a quiet kid or a shy kid, but at first I was like, whatever, it's a new environment, I don't care. And then so the children's choir director goes, "Oh, do you want to sing something?" I was like, "Sure." And I opened my mouth, and she stopped, took my hand, walked me back upstairs, and like, "So he's going to stay up here." And my brother sat and was just like, "Told you." So I would say I've always been a performer. There's another story where we used to go shopping in New York for school clothes. Like every summer, every fall, it was like, all right, school's coming, we need to look fresh. My uncle would take me to New York. We go shopping. And I hated shopping as a kid, no matter where it was. So back in the 80s, in clothing stores, they had the racks that were round, and inside, like so I used to sit underneath them because there were no chairs in the stores, and I didn't want to go shopping. But my whole family always knew if I wasn't around, I was in one of those, just somewhere near. So we're in New York. I don't remember this. I do not remember this, but this story is told every year at Christmas or whenever I'm home visiting. So it has to be true. So we're in New York, and my uncle's shopping, and he's like, "All right, I'm ready to go." And he's like, "Michael, let's go." And I'm not answering. And like, he looks under all the clothing racks where I should be. And he starts freaking out because I'm nowhere and I'm not answering. And then he looks to the front of the store, and there's a crowd, and they're all like, "Woo!" And apparently I was on top of one of the registers performing to Michael Jackson.
Oh my God.
in the middle of a store just giving a show. And he was half pissed because he didn't know where the hell I was and I was in the front of the store, but then he was half jaw dropped that I was just in the front of the store putting on a show. So entertainment's always been in me. It's in my environment. I don't know what it was. I've always been a show person. It's just, that's the easiest way to say it. But I do give credit to my brother for really nurturing my vocals and my dance skills in both freestyle house and voguing.
Wow, that's so cool. And I think that, like, if I can read your history right, you weren't that shy to also mix like your feminine sides with your masculine sides. And I actually found out that you made history because you were the first and only male to complete the final cuts of the 76ers dance team.
Yes, that was the year 2000.
What was that about? Where do you think that you got the confidence to be like, me being a male ain't gonna stop me, I can do it all?
Well, for me, so there's so many different, I don't think we have an hour. I don't think we can get through all this in an hour, but being a male, being a dancer, I actually grew up as an athlete. I was a multi-sport athlete in high school. I've always been extroverted. I've always been an overachiever. If I set my mind to do something, I was going to do it. And that's what it was. And I had the support of my mom and my family that, you know what, Michael's going to do this. Boom. Cool. He's making something for himself. But I was always a smaller build person, smaller build male. I've always been thin. I've always been lean, I should say, where especially back in the 80s, 90s, guys were like, yes, I'm a guy. I'm at Fitness Beach and we're going to get pumped up, blah, blah, blah. And my body never, I was muscular, but thinly muscular. So it took me a while to really, and all of my friends played American football and basketball, and they were jacked. And I'm like, I'm always a small guy, but I had as much strength as them and as much speed, if not faster than them. When I got to college, university, and I was a dance minor, I was the only male for about a year or half a year. And I was just like, I'm a dancer. That's what I do. It has nothing about me being a male. I dance. So this is the environment that I want to be in. But I was still sort of self-conscious about my size with being a male, because being a male dancer and being not a big male dancer, it's like, oh, he's a little bit girly. Oh, he's a little bit. But all of my girlfriends, both my girlfriends and my girlfriends in the company were just like, yo, your body is dope. Like, this is what actually women want. Like, we like muscles, but that's like holding a rock. But like, dude, you're sexy. I'm like, y'all cute. But they're like, are you listening to what we're saying? Like, you should be doing more modeling. I was like, well, I used to model. Like, well, you should start doing it again. It's like, oh, and then one day it literally clicked. It was just like, wait a minute, say that one more time. And then I was just like, all right, so I've already owned who I am, but now I'm really owning my body with it. Nothing's going to stop me. If I own myself, no one can tell me who I am, who I'm not. You can have your ideas of what you think about me, but that's on you. If you really want to know, let's have a conversation. But if you want to make prejudgments and all your ideas about it, that's on you. I don't have to prove myself to you. I don't have to prove anything to you. And being one of the only male dancers in the dance company in university and the dance team in university, I was known on campus as either Black Mike or Dancing Black Mike because I was the dancer. Like, that's what I was known for. So 2000 rolled around, and the 76ers is the NBA team. Their dance team were having auditions. It was a dance audition. I don't care. It was a dance audition. I'm a dancer. It's what I do. I'm a professional dancer. So I went to the audition, and two of my friends from uni were going, and they're like, oh, dude, you're going to go? Like, let's go together. So I rolled with them. It was just like, all right, cool. We're just going to support each other. And it's funny because at the audition, all the other girls that were auditioning thought I was the choreographer. They're like, oh, it's so nice to be here. Thank you very much. I'm like, yeah, it's nice to be here too. And then we lined up and we started dancing. And they were like, wait, you're auditioning? And I was like, yeah. They're like, yo, we thought you were the choreographer. It's like, I'm glad you think that. Cool. Let's get it on. So, yeah, the audition process went on, and I kept making the cuts, and they kept wanting to see me. I did the routine maybe 100 fucking times, just because they're like, Mike, can you go with this group? Can you go with this group? Can we see you with these people? It's like, sure, whatever. And I just like to have fun. You know me. When I dance, it's about energy and releasing and just having a good time. I am in it just to release. So, it ended up that I made the final cuts. I didn't end up being on the team, on the dance team. I ended up working in the media relations department actually instead, because my actual degree is in media communication, marketing communications and advertising public relations. But I still have that history. And I knew by the time the season started, all the girls were like, oh my God, Mike, you're here. The creative team knew me and stuff, and they were like, oh my God, we're in the office, it's worked out well, we're still here, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I made that history. For me, it's never about being male or female or masculine or feminine. I'm a dancer. Sorry, I'm going to say this, and I'm not sure if I can curse on your podcast. Sorry, David, I'm again. I don't fucking care about being masculine or feminine. That's your idea of how life is. I'm just me, and people are just who they are. And if it bothers you, that's on you, not me, of owning my persona, my body. If it makes you uncomfortable, guess what? I'm going to do it more because I'm comfortable with myself. And the fact that you're uncomfortable, that's not my problem. So let's get it on and let's just go.
I love that. I love that you say that, because I think that we also get stuck in trying to categorize a lot of people and a lot of dancers of who they are or what they're expressing. But you are a very, very versatile dancer. And so it is very hard for people to put you particularly in the category, which I also adore with you. And but there's
it bothers them. It annoys them.
Exactly. So we do it more. I love that. Yeah. There's one thing to be a dancer and auditioning and all of that, but it's another thing to lead a group. And I saw that you have been the founder of Flow Motion.
Yeah. So that actually is relevant to the 76ers dance team. Kinda. So my friends Tori and Lexa were part of the 76ers dance team and knew me from the audition and me working. So I was friends with all the girls because they're like, Mike, blah, blah, blah. And Tori and Lexa called me one day and they're like, yo, we want to talk to you about something. I was like, what's up? They're like, we're going to start a hip hop company and it's all females, but we want you to be one of the first guys in forming it. So you'd be the founding member of this company and you'd be the first guy. So it was me, Lexa, Tori, and there were like 7 of us. And I was still the only guy. So I was the original founding member of Flow Motion Dance Company based out of Philadelphia. And we did different performances in Philadelphia and internationally. And then I moved to Sweden and I moved to LA, actually. Sorry. I moved to LA and they were still touring and stuff. And then my little brother, Vince, joined the company. Vince Johnson in Philly joined the company. And then they would bring me back over and I would still do workshops and stuff with them. And I still actually have my Flow Motion sweat. Hold on for one sec.
Oh, you gotta go and get it.
I am.
Amazing.
Still rocking it to this day.
Oh, wow.
Flow Motion, baby.
Oh, wow. Is that like sprayed on your shirt?
Yeah, it's airbrushed.
Ah, that's what it's called. Airbrushed. Yeah. Ooh, yep. I love it. So
motion,
hip-hop.
baby.
So hip hop. Hey, that's so cool. And like from there, as you mentioned, you went to LA. You
went
have
to LA.
Been performing and choreographing in multiple music videos for different artists. Do you have like a favorite memory when you worked with an artist, and who was it?
Yes, India Arie. I did one of her music videos called I Am Not My Hair. And I knew a couple dancers on it, but when you in Los Angeles, when you do a job, you're like, oh, cool. Hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. And it becomes a family real quick because we do so much stuff in and out and just like, all right, cool. But then some of the dancers knew her already. So we're in a circle talking, the dancers, just like, oh, you know, this person knows, oh, cool. I know that, how we've never met, blah, blah, blah. And India walks over and she starts talking to the two that she knows. She's like, hey guys, what's up? Good to see you, blah, blah, blah. And then like, she stops mid-sentence, looks at me and goes, I'm sorry, I'm India. Who are you? Like, I'm like, I'm Mike. She goes, oh, Mike, nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. Where are you from? They're like, India, we need you on set. She goes, I'm so sorry. I'm like, why are you apologizing to me? We're on set for your video. Yeah, go do what you need to do. She goes, we'll finish this later. I'm like, okay. Just in my head, it's one of those, we'll finish this later. So we break for lunch/dinner. And I'm one of the first people in line. So I find a table for all of us to sit at. And it's straight out of a movie. I look up from the table and there's just like this aura around her, the wind's blowing and she's just walking and smiling. And she sits down in front of me. She goes, yeah, so we never got to finish our conversation. Tell me more about you. And I'm like, you were serious? She goes, why would I not be? I don't know you. And I thank you for being here. I want to get to know you. You're obviously worthy of being here. So tell me more about your story. And then she sat there with me and the rest of our friends having lunch and just being part of the crew. To me, I had been in LA for maybe 2 or 3 years at this point. I had been working a lot. I had done some stuff, but to have an artist of that caliber actually paid that much attention to you and be sincere about it. It wasn't even like one of those like, hey, nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. Okay, great. I'm India. Okay, bye. Thank you for being here. It was really like, she stopped her conversation, looked at me, registered that I was a person, registered all of me and was like, hey, I'm India. I'm sorry. Who are you? Just like she wanted to know. And then sat with us. That's dope. You don't get that very often with, especially doing a music video, a one-off. Like if you're on tour with an artist or something, it becomes much more of a family dynamic, or you do a TV show or a movie where it's a longer process. But for a 12-hour shoot day, 8 to 12-hour shoot day, for someone to want to invest in you that much was dope. It is a memory I will always remember.
Wow, that's incredible. And I just kind of need to tell you the story of when I saw the first India Arie CD. Because I was, I maybe have told you, but I'm from like a very small white little Swedish village of 10,000 inhabitants. And the only way you could get music was to go to the bookstore and order the songs. But if I didn't know the artist, I could not order the music. So my second option was like, I don't know enough artists. I'm going to travel to the next bigger city, go into the library and go in through the CD collection. And I just held the CD, and it's the golden one with the shoulder. And with the shoulder,
yeah.
Yes. And I just looked at the CD and I was like, who is this? And I just like borrowed it from the library. And it was one of those, like you need to give it back. And I had to rip it real fast in order to save it on my computer. And I just remember like, I felt like she taught life lessons in the song, like the promise. And like, all of it was just like a new world for me. So I also have like a very dear memory of the CD.
Yo, her aura that she radiates vocally in her music is her. She is so real. And it is so just to have experienced that is something I will never forget.
Wow. That is such a beautiful, thank you for sharing that story. I really appreciate it. Of course,
thanks for asking about it. So this is interesting. You actually did your research and got a little bit of nuggets in there. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have done so much. And as you say, like 1 hour is not going to cover it all, but I know that you've been a company member of some major companies. You have been in the Marshall Dance Company. You've been guest performing in the Gwendolyn by
Dance Fusion.
Exactly. And the dance Del Bello as well. And I just wonder kind of what has been your biggest moments of like growth or insights or learning moments from being in these companies.
Ooh, You know what? Hold on. I've actually never been asked that question before. Ever.
Thank you.
Clap. Thank you. Thank you. That's a great host right there. One of my biggest learning moments. Ooh, in a company. Well, I have one. As you said, I'm a very versatile dancer. I started in quote unquote hip hop before it was hip hop. It was what my social construct was in life. House voguing, a little bit of West African, traditional West African. And then in high school with the musical theater program, I was the only guy that could dance. So I got all the dance parts. So I learned from choreography how to be technical, but never heard a point your foot or a bop ma or blah, 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 blah. So when I went to university, everybody thought I was going to be a dance major. I was like, no, I know how to dance. I'm fine. But I was interested in continuing to develop in dance. And I realized that there was so much more that I didn't know. So I was never really a technical dancer. I know how to move, and I have a knack for expressing myself through movement. So it comes naturally to me that way. But I really had to learn to point my foot, to make clean lines, and again, I was a thinner kid. So as you can see, my arms go outside of my window already. So I really had to learn how to make these shapes and all of this through that. So when I was dancing with Marshall Dance Company in Los Angeles, which was a Catherine Dunham company. Catherine Dunham is one of the pioneers of modern dance, black female artist who combined traditional ballet forms with Afro-Cuban, Cuban, and West African dance styles to create Dunham technique. So our repertoire covered so many different of that through jazz, through vernacular jazz, what we consider jazz today, West African, Congolese, Senegalese, and Ghanaian from Ghana. And I was, again, one of the only guys in the company, and I would give my all, because that's what I do. I only know how to give 100, 200%. Like, it's all in or nothing. And in one rehearsal, I remember overhearing my dance director talking to my dance captain. And she said, you know, Michael's not the most technical dancer, but I can't stop looking at him. He just draws you in. And that means so much more to me because I can see his passion in it. And overhearing that, because I already knew I wasn't a technical dancer, and I was just amazed that they wanted me in this company, because it's like, yo, you are straight up technical, and I am still young and wet under the gills with this technical stuff. So for me, I realized at that point that I am enough, that, you know, there still is this ideology that ballet is the foundation of all dance, and it's not, because so many cultural and traditional dances have nothing to do with ballet. It's about having a relationship with the environment, the society, the culture, and the music. And that's where I come from with dance. So my technique is developed through my passion and my relationship with what I'm performing. And I teach that now in my classes. I don't care if your leg goes over beyond to the next world. If you're dead in the face and you're just a robot, I don't care about it. I want to see the passion. I want to see why you're dancing. I want to see why you move the way you do, why you're interpreting the music and listening and connecting the way you do. And that's actually gotten me so much further than being a completely technical dancer, because especially when it comes time to perform, you have to perform. The performance isn't the move. The performance isn't the dance steps. The performance is the person and the passion, the energy, and the emotion that they're putting into it. The emotionality, we'll get a little hood with that. The emotionality of the movement on the stage that you therein to put yourself.
Yeah.
And that's how I live my life 100%. As I said, I'm all in with everything that I do. And I had to learn how to control, again, my lines and my point and my technique and stuff. But with that, me having the passion for it, me having that commitment to my emotions and connecting to it, that dance was my language of my body. I learned that I could do anything. There was no stopping me.
Wow. That's so cool, because when I think about you as a dancer, and if like people listening to this have never seen you, you know, in real life, the only way I can describe it is that if I would sit in a chair in front of you and you would come walking to me, you would not let me go with your eyes. And that is like, as a spectator, that is like 100 different feelings going. I'm like a little bit, you know, scared and a little bit intimidated. And like, I will start looking away, but you will not. So I have to look back. And and I am like fascinated, and at the same time I'm getting shy and giggly, and then you know, like there's just, it becomes so much. And even if it's just a single walk from you, it's just a lot. And I wonder, for me, that is like passion slash sensuality slash you are not escaping, ready or not, here I come kind of thing. And I wonder where it comes from. What confidence. Where's the root of that confidence then? Where does it come from?
Again, being able to own yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and in your body, that this is me, and it might make you uncomfortable, but I'm not going to dim my light to make you wear sunglasses. If I'm too bright for you, wear sunglasses. If you can't handle my shine, turn away, because I'm not turning down. And it becomes that authenticness. I think that's that root of where you're asking about that confidence. It's authenticity. I'm not trying to perform. I'm not trying to make you all these things, but I'm going to make you do those by the way that I do what I do. I'm 100% real. I don't put on a show. I am the show.
You just bring forward, instead of putting a layer of whatever.
This is me, and this what you see on stage is me. What you see here, what you're listening to, is me. There's not I'm Mike on the stage now. Oh, I'm Mike in the classroom. Oh, I'm Mike in a business meeting. Oh, I'm Mike walking down the street. No, I'm Mike. I'm Gamble. I'm Gamble, baby. That's it. There's only one me, and you're gonna get the real me in every context. That's it. And again, that draws you, as they say, confidence is sexy, and that confidence is somewhat intimidating for people that aren't confident themselves. But as you said, it's like a Dracula effect. You're drawn into it. You can't look away because you're like, no. What is this? I want to have that. I want to, no, get away from me. What is, what is that feeling? Oh, wait, no, stop. I can't do that. So it's all these, it's this rush of emotion, because I am so in tune with myself that I'm making you, without me consciously doing it. I'm not trying to make you do it, but I'm making you have to go through what you're feeling at that time. You can't hide from it because I'm not hiding from it.
Wow. Like, you know, when I hear this, I'm just thinking that you basically could have, like, you know, very transformational performances, just one-on-one by people, you know, like I wonder how it would change someone to sit and just see you have a show and like force people to go through all those emotions. Like, I think somebody would come out on the other side feeling like they are more alive than.
That's actually a base hope of mine. Everybody looks for their purpose in life. What's my meaning in life? And I realized at a young age that my purpose in life is to inspire other people. It's not something that I sought out to do, but I realized the effect that I have on people in so many different contexts, that it's basically, at the end of the day, it's inspiration. That I want to inspire you to think differently. I want to inspire you to know yourself more. I want to inspire you to break the social norms and do what it is that you want to do, if you're not being toxic and hurting other people in the process, but owning your process and stuff like that. So that's also that thing that when I do it, if it's one person, even I can teach class with one person. Like if I'm supposed to have a workshop and no one shows up, I'm like, yo, you get a personal, and I'm going to give you the same amount of energy and information I was going to give the rest of the class. One person, 100 people. It starts with one.
And when it comes to inspiration, what inspiration, what type of inspiration do you wish you would have had when you were younger that you are now trying to provide people today?
Ooh. That's another tough one. Because I don't want to say I created my own, but I really didn't look for external validation because I wasn't quote unquote normal, that I didn't fit in anybody's normal context. Again, those labels of what people want to put you in. I was this, but I wasn't. But then you would do this, but then you don't. Nope, I had it. Prince is the musician Prince. Rest in peace. He is the inspiration that got me to who I am today, to own myself and my confidence. I remember being 5 years old. It was 1984 when Doves Cry came out. The music video comes on. This when MTV first came on, and this dude, it's like he's in a bathtub. And he just stands up, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then he's dancing in heels with this high falsetto voice, and I'm like, "Holy!" And again, it's that whole drawing. Like, what is this? That is awesome. He is owning everything, and then he wasn't tall whatsoever. He wasn't a big guy, but every penny dropped for him. Every penny dropped for him. Like he was pulling tail left and right. Like he's in a dog. Like, yeah, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn. But then everybody's like, oh, because he's sang with a falsetto and he had this permed hair, and like he was a little bit effeminate. He didn't fit in all this stuff. So guys are like, oh, that Prince dude. Oh, he's kind of. But then they're like, yo, but he gets so much. I want to be like him. How does he get so many women? And it wasn't about the sex or anything, but it was that owning your sensuality and owning your persona, not to have to be what somebody else thinks you are. And he even has a song, Controversy. All the things people say, dum, 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 controversy. Is he black or white? Is he straight or gay? Dun, dun, controversy. Dun, dun. And it's like, he made a song about all the shit people say. You know what? I don't give a fuck about you. Yo, little homie, I don't give a fuck about you, like all these songs, like all this stuff. It really gave me, as a 5-year-old, seeing this, just that's how you be an adult. For me, that's how you be a man. You own your shit. Walk around in heels, and people, I was like, I want to walk around in heels, but guys don't do that. But he's doing it, but he's a star, so he can do it. And then look at me. Look at me now. I am people. This is going to sound egotistical for people who don't know me, but I am the man of heels in Scandinavia, and it started in Los Angeles. I've been doing heels before YouTube. I've been doing heels since 2005, since the early 2000s. Again, many people have come before me. There's Yante, there's Victor Manuel, there's Prince. There's so many people that came before me, and I give homage and credit to them. All credit due. But again, with you, I don't need YouTube for me to be quote unquote famous. Mm-hmm. I am who I am. I am what I am. My skill set is still what it is, whether you need the validation for me or not. I'm still going to do it.
And it's funny because even though hip hop and jazz and contemporary, like so many styles, but it was a period, maybe still to this day, where a lot of people, especially in Sweden, associated you with burlesque.
Yeah. Yes. Well, actually, the funny thing about that, going back to my time in Los Angeles, most people in Los Angeles only knew me as a hip hop house freestyler because I'm from the East Coast. So that was my niche in there. They didn't know that I was a techno dancer until I did, what job was it? Who did I dance for? Forget what job it was, but came off stage and people were like, when did you learn how to do that? And I was like, when did I learn how to do what? I didn't know you could do jazz. And my answer was, there's a lot of things you don't know about me. Be careful. I'm coming for your jobs.
Damn.
Underestimate me if you want to. Not even me. People underestimate who you want to underestimate, but realize there is always someone, not necessarily better, but that you don't know their story. Stop trying to put people in the box. Stop trying to, as humans, we try and associate with something that's common with us. But the beautiful thing about humans as a people, as a species, is that we're fucking different, dude. Let ourselves be different and enjoy our differences. Stop trying to peg and place so it makes you comfortable about yourself. I know this is like the 4th time, maybe the 14th time I'm saying this in this last couple minutes that we've been talking, but that was another defining moment for me in my career in Los Angeles was, oh, you think I'm just this? Oh, darling. Oh, darling. I'm so sorry. You gonna learn today. And then with Sweden, I'm not sure if you remember Platform X,
Yeah.
Twisted Feet, the dance festival and the showcase that they did. I did a very avant-garde jazz modern piece.
I remember half sleeve white.
Yeah.
I remember.
People assumed that I was going to do something either burlesque heels or commercial or hip hop oriented. And I came out like, they were like, what? I did a 64 count hinge. Like, people are like, what is, there's so much under me that you don't know. And again, I don't have a website. I don't have an Instagram. I don't have a YouTube. I had a MySpace, but I rarely post class videos. I rarely post choreographies. I rarely post performances. I rarely post pictures. Like, so I get it. People only know what they see, but believing is seeing, not seeing is believing. Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Let's go, y'all. We got so much more to do.
Hey, it really is. And I just wanted to salute you for taking all these different hats, because I think that is also what you say. When it's time to perform, you got to know how to perform. And as a dancer, you need to, after 3 years on some dance education, you cannot possibly think that you're done there.
Yeah, you can't possibly think that you know everything there is to being a performer in any context.
No. And I love that on multiple sites about you, there is like quotes that I love. So I've been writing them down. And, all the yoga teachers always say that they work with mind, body, and soul. And I love your interpretation about it, because you said that for you work with 3 components. The musicality is the mind, the figure is the body, and the performance is the soul. And I just wanted to see if you can elaborate a little bit about that. I know we touched upon it, but just to hear your words about it.
So for me, choreography isn't dance. Dance is dance. And the way that we dance is, again, that communication between music or whatever the sound is, or the emotion or the feeling is, and the audience, whether it's the audience is yourself or if you're dancing for an actual audience. And my approach to that is the mind, body, and soul are all one unit. Again, you can't separate, hi, this is hip hop mic. Hi, this is jazz mic. Hi, this is African mic. This is heels mic. This is, at the end of the day, it's one body and it's just me. So I have to put all those together. So the mind to me is, people think so much about dance that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a 6. Yeah, we use counts to have uniformity, but those counts are just guides. What happens in the spaces between those, in the emptiness, in the silence? What happens when you don't have a count? What do? Do you just stand there like a robot, or do you fill it in with personality and expression? So the mind to me is what connects. It's the brain receives this information and it fires all those synapses that make the muscles go, your chemical synapses that release all the emotionality stuff, all the emotions that come out, your reactions to stuff. So like a computer, the information's coming in, the mind connects to the music. That's the musicality. You have to learn how to relate to music, not how to dance on music, not how to dance behind music, but with it. The song, we're dancing because the song is playing, or the sound is making us do that, wherever the movement inspiration is coming from, not the opposite. We have to engage with that. So that's the mind. The mind takes all this in, and we learn how to be musical beings. The body that then becomes the figure. It becomes all those shapes. It's the smooth, it's those lines, it's the hits, it's the pops, it's the undulations. It's how your body is now communicating what your mind is feeling, or what your mind is experiencing, I should say. And is it hard? Is it soft? Is it rough? Is it sensual? Is it What is it? What is the shape happening? Why does the choreographer want me in this shape? How does my muscle feel getting there? What is the process of getting from arm up to arm down? What is that in between there? What does that ride through there? And lastly, with that, the soul is your passion. It's all those feelings inside. That's what your soul is. You can't explain your soul. And sometimes you can explain your feelings, but that's what that is. And you put all that together, the mind, body, and the soul, the musicality, the shape, and the figure, that's what dance is about. I don't give a shit if you do 64 counts and it's the hardest. If it's dead, you're a robot. Only thing you've done is copied what somebody else has done. Or only thing you've done as a choreographer is made people copy what you look like. Why do you want people to do that? Where is the story? Where's the message? Where's the feeling? Where's the passion? And I know dance, I'm going to sound like one of the old heads, like, well, back in my day when I was dancing, but that's why I have such a hard time relating to quote unquote contemporary modern music, because it doesn't have the same passion. It doesn't have the same urgency or energy to it. It's beats, and they're digital beats. And yes, if you think about songs now, we like them primarily for the beat because it makes us move. It's not about the lyrics. It's not about the message. It's not about the vocalization of it. But once you find an artist, and those songs last with you now, but you don't remember them really, or you hear them like, oh, that's that beat. Oh, that's that song, right? But then you go back to those songs back from the 70s, 80s, early 90s that every single body goes back to. You might not have known English, but you know that song when it comes on. Michael Jackson is a great example of that. Most people internationally who never knew how to speak English learned how to speak English from listening to Michael Jackson, because the way that he sang, the words that he was expressing, the feeling that he was expressing called out to every single person. You don't have to be the biggest Michael fan, but you know one of Michael's songs when you hear it, and you know the message that's between it. That is what it means to be a performer as a dancer. What are you communicating? Why are you doing these steps? What in the music, what in the message is making you do that? What is your mind telling you? What is your body wanting to do? And what is your soul feeling at that time? Mind, body, and soul. People think it's yoga. People think it's this. People think this is us, people. We are these things.
Yeah.
Connect to it. Own yourself. Explore yourself. Whichever way you want to take that, explore yourself.
Yeah. And I think that, with that said, I also kind of want to wrap this interview up with saying that, I have a million more questions to you, because there is so much to talk about. We can do another one because, we haven't even touched base.
Was that an hour already?
Oh, yes.
Gee.
That went fast. And, not only are you, the first Black male to teach at the University of the Arts in Stockholm, and you are also having your own agency, and you're also the chairman of like the West Sweden's biggest dance center, whatever. And we haven't even touched on that, but I just wanted to salute you for changing and bringing change to our scene. And
my absolute pleasure. I just want to touch on that it's none of this is ever about me. All of these firsts, I'm a man of many firsts. It just happens that it happens to be that way. I don't go in going, I'm going to be the first to do this. No. I'm going to be the first. It's just the way that my life path has gone, with all of the exits and on-ramps and different ways it can go. They have led me to this spot. And I'm humbled that I have the experience to be able to make such change, and again, create inspiration for people in all these different contexts.
Oh, yes.
That's what makes me wake up every day. It's not about me. If I drop dead now at thank you, click. I have lived my life as it should have been lived to the fullest, and I have no regrets of anything I have done or anything I haven't done. I've just gone for it.
I love that. And in the end of my interviews, I always have some questions called fill in the gaps, where I start a sentence and you can only end with one word or maximum an end of a sentence. Okay. And it's I'm just ready. Reaction. No judgment. Okay. All right.
No, let's go.
All right. When I step out on stage, I always
Live.
boom. When I teach my students, I always want them to feel
Inspired.
boom. I love that. Boom. Mic drop.
Hey, you said one word. Boom.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So sharp. Okay. One thing that I have discovered about myself the last year has been.
Ooh. One thing I've discovered about myself in the last year, I am powerful.
Boom. I love that. One thing that I have not yet achieved, but that I dream about achieving is.
Owning a plane.
Okay. Wow, that was out of the blue. Okay.
Listen, I travel a lot, so I keep going to airports and paying other people to do shit. I got friends who are pilots. I just need to make airplane owning money and then we're set.
That's for the next podcast. How are we going to get Mike a plane? Okay, the last one. If I could make everyone in the world try this at least once, it would be
living full out without regret and fear.
Thank you so much, man. This has been one of the most floating, natural, inspiring interviews I've had.
See, there's that word. That's my magic word.
Bum.
Inspire.
Bum. And I'm so happy to see you, even though I don't see much of you on social media. I know that things are happening. And and I also saw when I was like Googling around on your pages and whatever, I also saw that you were in a very beautiful video called like Future Black something. Future
Black Spaces. Yes. That we can't talk about that briefly. That's definitely another 10 to 20 minute conversation.
Exactly.
That's not my project. I was involved in this project and it was an amazing project to be a part of.
I will say, go and check it out. Future Black Spaces. It's a very beautiful video and I was very happy to see your face in it. So, I really hope to see more of that. And until next time, Mike, please take care. I can't wait to hug you again soon.
So I have one last thing to say about social media.
Go ahead.
So I have two projects that I'm working on. One is you can follow at We Are Dope AF as we are dope as fuck, or you can look up Gamble and Friends. I started an Instagram page that highlights my friends that are dope and doing dope things around the world. So check that out. Make sure you follow it. Just so you know. No, you don't need to know that information. Just follow it. So don't think you're going to see all of me. Again, it's not about me. It's about letting other people know how dope my crew is that have been supporting me and that we are one. So check that out at We Are Dope AF on Instagram.
Gamble.
And there's one more project that I'm doing called Gamble's Green Room. It is a talk show talking to dancers, choreographers, legends, pioneers, directors, and producers in the dance community, because we don't have our own talk show ever. It's always the artist or it's always the actor or actress that is highlighted. It's never the dancer in the back, or it's never the director who has something with dance. So I'm bringing all of those to the forefront. For those that don't know, the green room is the room backstage where everybody chills. It's the lounge. And it's Gamble's Green Room because that's what we're doing. Sort of like what we're doing right now in Teaser is I'm talking to my friends. They're pretty much all my friends, and not just an interview, but we're talking about experiences in the industry, artists that we've worked with and stuff, so that you get a inside personal VIP access so that you feel that you're there with us. So it's starting off as a podcast because of Corona, but the ultimate goal is to get back to broadcast TV, and you can follow at Gamble's Green Room on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And that's exactly why I started this podcast too, because, just wanted to talk with more dancers and hear dancer stories, because everyone has their own stories. no matter what styles, no matter where you're from, we have so much similarities. And I think that we can learn so much across the different genres and different styles. So I'm so happy to hear about that. I hope I can come and be a guest one day.
Yes,
I would
of course.
love to.
Yes.
I would love to. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. I'm going to link everything in the description below. And
awesome.
Everyone that's out there, go and follow Gamble, all of the things that he just said, and we can't wait to see more from you, man.
Thank you, my love. Thanks for having me.
Don't forget to click subscribe, comment below, and give us a rating or review. We have a Facebook page, YouTube page, and we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and all the other podcast platforms. We also have an Instagram, so don't forget to tag us in your favorite episode and share it with the world, because we read all of it.